Looking at the fourth question, okay, of 2007 EE gate paper, okay. The RLC series circuit is shown supplied from a the RLC series circuit is shown supplied from a variable frequency voltage source, okay. The admittance locus of RLC network at terminals AB for increasing frequency omega is, so this is a variable frequency voltage source and this is series RLC circuit, okay. The admittance locus can be from out of these four, okay. They are not labeled yet, we can label them, no problem. Yes, A is this is A, okay. Next one is B. Right, so this is B. Next one is C. So this is C, okay. Next one is D. So out of these four, one is the answer, okay. A, B, C, D. Alright, how to find? The usual procedure is first you need to find the impedance. You need to find the admittance, right? What is the admittance locus? Admittance locus is the graphical representation of admittance with the variation of frequency, okay. So for that you need to find the admittance first. First let's write the impedance one. Not there, here perhaps, okay. Impedance is what? Z. Yes, Z equal to what? R plus, okay, J omega L, okay, fair enough, minus J. Here you need a fraction, 1 by omega again, right, omega again into C. So this is what Z is, okay. Then what about the admittance? Admittance is simply, yes, admittance is simply the reciprocal of impedance, okay. Admittance Y is 1 by Z, okay. So nothing but 1 upon this part, okay. Okay, let me write it, no problem. 1 upon R plus J, taking common omega L yes, omega L minus, what about this, 1 by omega C. So 1 by omega C, okay. So this is admittance, fair enough. So can you rationalize it? If you rationalize it, you have to rationalize with this part, the negative part, not just the negative. You need to rationalize with it the negative part of this, okay. Imaginary part must be negative, then this becomes R plus omega L minus 1 by omega C, yes, whole square, power, okay. Oh, this is also r square, okay, over, right, r square plus omega l minus 1 by omega c whole square, r minus j omega l minus 1 by omega c. Okay, this part you can see this one is just real part. Okay, no problem with the change in frequency, it is just real. But here in the numerator you have both real and imaginary components. How to write them again? R minus j omega, let's write them independently. Okay, and this becomes r plus j 1 by omega c. Okay, r plus j by omega c also you can write, no problem in it. Okay, both ways the meaning is same. Okay, right, now what happens with the change in frequency, that is what you need to figure it out now. Okay, when omega is 0, right, when omega is 0, what about admittance? This part becomes 0, this part becomes 1 by 0 is what? Infinite. Again this is 1 by infinite, 1 by infinite is 0. So when the omega is 0, the admittance is 0. When omega is infinite, so what happens to the admittance? This part becomes 0, 1 by infinite 0, this part becomes infinite, again 1 by infinite, this is negligible, right, compared to infinite. So 1 by infinite is 0, so it starts from 0 and ends at 0. Okay, admittance omega is 0, it is 0, and when omega is infinite, it is 0 again. Okay, in between when omega is small, okay, at one point both will become equal. Omega becomes equal to 1 by omega c, and at that time the admittance becomes real 1 by r. It just becomes real. Okay, just becomes real. Fair enough. Before that frequency, maybe that is resonant frequency. Before that resonant frequency, 1 by omega c is greater than omega l. Okay, after the resonant frequency, omega l is greater than 1 by omega c. So before resonant frequency, then that is when omega is reaching to its resonating frequency omega r, where it becomes real. At that time 1 by omega c is dominant, right? 1 by omega c is dominant. Here you need not to bother about the denominator part, because there is square term. Okay, whether this is positive or negative, square is always positive. Okay, so this part imaginary part is positive before the resonating frequency. Okay, real plus positive the positive imaginary part when omega is reaching towards its resonating frequency, it becomes positive. After resonating frequency, omega l is dominant, so the imaginary part is negative. Okay, got the point? So let's check a part first. See, omega is 0 and omega is infinite. Both times it is 0. The admittance is 0. So a part satisfies the first condition. What about the second condition? Before the resonating frequency, see, the before resonating frequency, this part is before resonating frequency, imaginary part is negative, but that is not so. Okay, after resonating frequency, imaginary part is positive. Again, it is not satisfying our second limitation, second constraint. Okay, so as to say, what about this? So omega, see, this is how the omega is changing 0 towards infinity. That is what the arrow indicates. Okay, now what about this? See, this is changing in the other way around. See, omega is 0 here, increasing omega up to resonating frequency. Okay, after resonating frequency, before resonating frequency, imaginary part is positive. After the resonating frequency, imaginary part is negative. That is what we want, right? That is what we want. At resonating frequency, it becomes real. That point is here. Okay, these two are cannot be the answers. Okay, at resonating frequency, it cannot be imaginary, it can be real only. Okay, so B bit is the answer. Can we take the B bit? Yes, I suppose. Yes. Okay. Right. You can change the appearance of tick mark also. Okay. Right. So that is the end of question 4. We will meet in the next session with the next question. Thank you.